the good life.
Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen. Another big, exciting day in this kitchen. I'm going to tell you why. It's St. Patrick's Day. How you doing? I'm not Irish, but give me a kiss anyway, you know what I'm saying? Alright, it's not funny, I know. You guys get mad at me because my videos are too long anyways. Alright, so let's get going. Today what we're going to do is we're going to make Brussels sprouts and we're going to roast them. Now listen, I always loved Brussels sprouts when I was a kid, and I hear these stories of, you know, people being forced to eat Brussels sprouts because they didn't like them. Brussels sprouts to me were always delicious. They're actually a Northern European food. So I want to share with you a recipe that is from the Boreal Kitchen, the Boreal Cucina, and this is so simple and it's so fast and it's so easy and it's delicious, and I wouldn't serve Brussels sprouts any other way than this. And your kids will always love them and have great memories like I do, okay? So what do you say we get rocking? Let's start with the center stage, the main character. Okay, we're gonna do some Brussels sprouts. So I got about 1.5 pounds of Brussels sprouts, which will feed anywhere from 4 to 6 people, okay? And what I did here is I cleaned them and I already cut them. So I cut that end off. So all the Brussels sprouts have been cleaned and I cut those out, okay? So I got cleaned, rinsed, 1.5 pounds of Brussels sprouts. All right, number 2, that's why this thing's gonna be great, because anything's good with bacon. We're gonna use Italiano bacon, you know what I mean, which is pancetta. And right here I've got about 6 ounces, 4 to 6 ounces, but here today I got about 6 ounces of pancetta. Now pancetta is the pork belly of a pig. The difference between American bacon and an Italian bacon is pancetta is not smoked. So the Italian version is basically spiced and herbed and cured, but they don't smoke it. Obviously we're gonna need some garlic. So here I've got 3 cloves of garlic. Oh, that is good. You know, and I tell you, a lot of times I'll have friends over and you know, sometimes their kids, they'll be like, I don't like garlic. You know what my attitude is on that? I'm gonna tell you straight out, get out. I don't know that I trust people that don't like garlic. So that's the way we roll here cooking Italian Joe. Here's the foodie. You don't like it? Too bad. All right, out with ingredients, enough of the life advice. I got it. Okay, so we're gonna use an onion. Now we're not gonna use all the onion. We're gonna use about half. We got a Spanish or like a sweet onion. Oh, that smells good. Onions are great, and they have a lot of sugar, so because this is going to get caramelized, because we're going to roast it, the sweetness of the mini cabbage, the Brussels sprout, and the sweetness of that onion, all that's going to come out. I've got here about 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts. I'm going to show you there's a special way to add those walnuts. We're going to mix that in. And then we're going to need some Parmigiano Reggiano. Oh, the king of cheeses, I'm just telling you. So to be Parmigiano Reggiano, it's got to be from like Sardinia, northwest aspect to the north central aspect of Italy. And then it's going to be stamped and certified, and it's got different enzymes in the cheeses, so it comes out differently in that area than it would anywhere else, and it's absolutely delicious. So if you can splurge, if not, you can use a different type of Parmesan, but the Parmigiano Reggiano is, I'll tell you, that is the way to go. Okay, we need a few more things. We're going to want some salt. Here in this case, I'm going to use French sea salt, French salt from the shores of France. We're going to need some fresh ground pepper. I'd smell it, but you guys always tease me on that, but I can't smell it through that. So that's going to be great. And then obviously we need some olive oil. So as you guys know, and maybe for some of our new viewers, I own a farm in Italy. It's in Puglia, Italy, right above the heel. And we have an olive farm out there, and I have 2 boys, Vito and Joe. So we make our own olive oil, Vito and Joe's olive oil, and we sell it. We actually ship it here in the United States. We co-op with a group of farms to bring you what I think is some of the best olive oil you'll ever have. It's the real extra virgin olive oil. And you can go right on my Facebook page, Cooking Italian with Joe, or you can go to our webpage, Cooking Italian with Joe, or the link right here below, and click it, and we actually drop ship it right to your house. I call it a trip to Italy right in the house. All right, so what do you say we get cooking? This is gonna go fast, it's fun, and I'm gonna make you love Brussels sprouts, if you don't love them already. If you already love them, then hey, this is just another way to make them. All right, first thing what I wanna do is I wanna get a bowl to start mixing all the stuff in. So I've got a stainless steel bowl, nice and big. Isn't that a beautiful spoon? That's an olive spoon. It was made by one of the craftsmen out in Italy from one of our olive trees. Isn't that great? So I'm gonna actually mix everything right in here. So I'm gonna put that pan right up front. and I want about a half of that onion. And give it a little peel. Now I like a little bit more onion in there. I don't want it in like teeny little pieces because it's gonna roast and it's gonna mush. So I want a little bit of hardiness to this. So I'm gonna cut this in threes, and then what I'm gonna do is just give it a nice slice across. So I'm gonna end up with something, you know, about 1/4 inch wide, maybe 1/2 inch long. And now I'm gonna take that bowl, I'm gonna put everything right in there. There's my garlic, beautiful. Only thing on the garlic is that little end. Just give that a little cut so it's clean. And same idea with the garlic. We don't wanna mince it to make it mush. We're okay with little pieces in there. So I'm gonna give it little thin slices, but with something with a little bite to it. And don't worry about the flavor of the garlic because we're gonna roast it, so it'll get creamy and kind of nutty. You don't have to worry about, you know, having like a strong bite with the flavor of the garlic here. Okay, we're done. I'm gonna take that garlic, pop it right back in my bowl. Next, I'm gonna take my pancetta, take my spoon, start mixing that up a little bit. Next, I'm gonna take my Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna pop them right inside here. Give it a good stir. Next, I'm gonna take some olive oil. Obviously, Vito and Joe's best olive oil in the world. I'm gonna use about 1/3 of a cup of olive oil, and I'm gonna give this a stir. And I want everything to be coated with the oil. Now, it's important to put it in the order in which I gave you because I want everything to be coated with the olive oil first before I put cheese, before I put salt, before I put pepper. So the olive oil is going to act as an agent, if you will, that's going to cause everything to adhere or stick to it, which is going to be great, okay? Now remember on the salt, pancetta is already a little bit salty, so I don't need a ton of salt. So I'm going to use about 1/4 teaspoon to about 1/2 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to use at least 1/2 of a teaspoon, if not a little bit more, of freshly ground pepper. And then you're going to give this a really good stir. Last, I'm going to want some cheese. With our Parmesan Reggiano, oh, that's good. I'm going to put in there about 1/4 of a cup. So I've got my oven at 375, and then we're going to pop these inside the oven. So the walnuts are something we're going to add near the end to our dish. And you got to roast them, I'll tell you, because when you roast the nuts, all those oils and all that beautiful flavor that comes out, oh, it's just gorgeous. It's just going to be gorgeous. So it's going to add an aroma and a flavor that you can't get if you just add them at some point. And now you'll see again with the oil all over the Brussels sprouts and the pancetta and the onion and the garlic. See, everything sticks, and it's the only way to do it. Now let's make this simple and easy, right? So I've got a cookie sheet, okay? And then what I did is I've got a piece of parchment, and this just makes life so easy. So you're just going to take that parchment, and if you put a little oil down on the cookie sheet underneath, it's nice because it'll help it stick. You can just take a little swab with your finger and then just get it down, and that'll at least hold it in place. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my Brussels sprouts right on top of the cookie sheet. So we want to get everything on the cookie sheet, and we want to just make sure everything's equally distributed, okay? And guys, we got goodness in there, so clean all that out. And we're gonna move this around while it's cooking anyway. Okay, these are set. I've got the oven at 375, and we're gonna go about 30 to 40 minutes. And I wanna make sure I caramelize and roast everything through. About every 5 to 7 minutes is what I do on my watch or my timer. I wanna make sure that I'm moving things around. So 5 to 7 minutes, I'm gonna stir it around, move it. 5 to 7 minutes, we're gonna turn it around, stir it. And then about 10 minutes before we're done, so figure 20 minutes in to 25 minutes in, that's when we're gonna add those walnuts, okay? And they'll take about 10 minutes. It's been about 10 minutes, my buzzer just went off. I'll tell you, the smell in this kitchen is unbelievable. Couple of things. One, watch your oven. When you open this up, you're gonna get some steam, so don't burn yourself. 2, like I said, we're gonna hold off on those walnuts. 3, what makes this come out exceptional, that really hits it with something special, is if you subscribe to our channel. So there's a red button without the spatula. There's a red button right down here in the left-hand corner. When you click that, what it does is any new trips, any new recipes, anything with Blogging with Bory, it'll come right to your notification box. And I'll tell you, it means a lot to me when you subscribe to the channel. And hey, it makes you part of the family, you know what I'm saying? I don't even need to mention the olive oil. You guys probably already got it. All right, so let's open this puppy up. First off, is that gorgeous or what? Secondly, just give everything a nice stir. So we're gonna do that 2 or 3 times before we add the walnuts. And now's a great time to add our walnuts, okay? So I'm gonna just take my hand and spread them across. Okay guys, we got about another 7 to 10 minutes. We're ready to go. I'll tell you guys, the aroma in here, Fantastic. All right, let's check it out. Oh, that's beautiful. So I've got a nice plate here from Italy. Last thing to finish this off beautiful is gonna be some Parmesan. So I'm gonna take some of that Parmigiano Reggiano and I'm just gonna kill it on the top. And it's so hot, you're gonna watch it, especially with the microplaner. It almost just melts the second it hits. Guys, my favorite time of the video. So I'm gonna take, I got one I cut there just to show how tender they are. I love these little chips. See the leaves right there when they come up? Oh, I mean, oh my God, it's delicious. So I'm gonna grab a couple of these guys. I'm gonna put them in a ramekin. And I'm gonna throw some of those nuts, those roasted nuts in there. And like I said, between the onions and the Brussels sprout, you know, so I'm gonna grab some of those nuts. And it's got cheese all over it. You've got that like creamy inside. And then the nuts, oh, and you can see the steam coming right off it. Isn't that beautiful? Here, open up, here we go. And the key here is to try to get that perfect bite, right? Oh, immediately. We got a little bit of that crunch, the walnut, the pancetta, the salt, the Vito and Joe's olive oil, the onion. There's not even a hint of bitterness. There's a little bit of it like a leafy feel. I wouldn't even say cabbage. And then you get the sweetness of the onion and the caramelization of the leaves. You get that cheesy Parmigiano Reggiano. Oh. I got a beautiful little bite of pancetta and nut right there. Guys, thanks for letting me bring a beautiful recipe from my childhood, from my family's kitchen to yours. Absolutely delicious. Remember, hit that subscribe button, make it part of the family, and you can go right on our website or Facebook. Click buy it now, we'll drop ship you a bottle of Vito and Joe's extra virgin Italian olive oil, a trip to Italy right in about. And always remember, for at least a few minutes a week, right, shut the TV off and the computer and the cell phone and get around the table and, you know, create some memories with your family, celebrate your heritage, set some traditions. They'll certainly last you a lifetime. Today's recipe is absolutely proof to that, right, guys? From my kitchen to yours, until next week,
Good
buon
life.
appetito.
Full of fun seems to be the ideal.